Whatever. What are you here? Jeremy Bird. What's up, man? Yeah. I think I've devised a psychological. It's more like a riddle to where I can deduce. I think part of it has to be where I'm like, I got to tell the person, okay, look, you got to answer just you can't just sit there and think about it for a while and run it through a bunch of filters. You got to give me just your first answer, what you think first. Maybe I shouldn't do that. I might emphasize that there's some importance or whatever. Because I have this riddle designed where it's like I think most people are gonna say one thing, which means they haven't thought through where they live, and I'm pretty sure people are gonna answer a certain way. Or like basically, if it's a question I'm posing where it's like it's either yes or no answer, and if you answer yes, you're thinking like a flat earther, absolutely. And I think most people are gonna say yes. That's what's cool about this because I think at first your first thought is yes because it's logical. the question that I ask, and it's kind of involved. I'll get into it here. It'd be kind of cool if there's more people listening. Get your friends. I'm just kidding. I'm still gonna say it. I'm just. It's kind of involved though. You might have already heard it. I see. The thing is, I put this riddle up, and I just think, oh, I got this clever idea, I put it up, and like nobody even answers. Nobody gives me any feedback. And I get zilch. But I think it's a cool, like, psychological manipulation. Not really manipulation. It's just sort of like a, a, a way of looking at the world where it's like, I don't think people have really considered what living on a globe necessitates, like in general. Like, I mean, I know that everybody's been taught a certain thing. We've all been taught the same shit, and how it could be that the Earth appears to be a stationary plane. That's the first thing, anybody should wonder when they hear the flat Earth. They're like, wait, the Earth is flat and stationary, isn't it? It's like you shouldn't really even have to go too far with that one. Just be like, oh yeah, but we've been so indoctrinated. Like when I finally took the time to just sit there and be like, okay, I'm gonna turn all the information off and just I had to sit there by myself and just think about it. Like so, just like pretend there's no information in your head, and just sit there and just go and open your eyes and be like, where the fuck am I? You realize that the fundamental like conclusion you'll come to without even really thinking about it is that you're in a place where it's a stationary plane. You're like the floor is stable. You're gonna figure that out right quick. It's like one of your first things that you realize when you're coming into this place. It's like your fundamental observation, right? Yeah, exactly. It's common sense. It's stuff that doesn't even need to be expressed. And when people say prove the flat Earth, I'm like, what? We don't have to prove our objective reality. I mean, I would think we wouldn't have to, but that's what this is all about. This is like some heavy psychological shit. It's like an experiment that's been done with people's minds where it's like, can we make people believe that the opposite is happening? I don't even know if it was done deliberately like that. I think maybe some smarty pants guys thought they were really clever and they just started like getting obsessed with this idea without really knowing that it was true. Nobody ever knew that it was true. And then by the time when we're faking going to space, I think at that point, yeah, there was a deception taking place for sure. But I don't know if it started off as a lie. I think it might have started off as just people having ideas. And maybe it's just like, maybe you got kind of carried away with your idea there, guys. Look how it's fucking manifested itself, this far. And like if it's all like how they say it happened, these guys start tinkering around with some ideas and now it's just like this fake space agencies and all this shit going on. It's like, man, talk about getting carried away. Wow. All these like fucking charlatans, they're just like trying to make a buck, and like everybody's all just brainwashed, all like, yay. It's total fucking madhouse, dude. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts. What's wrong with people? Well, nothing's really wrong with them. They're just so easily manipulated. It's like we're kids, we're just little children. It's like we didn't know any better. It's just so unfair. And the teachers don't know any better either, obviously. But you would think after a while, if you're teaching somebody something and you're just teaching out of a book, and it's like it'd start to wear on you. I would think and just be like, I never really teach them anything. Like when you're teaching, like when they're really young, where you're like teaching them how to write and read, and that's when you're like, really accomplishing something. But like further on in school, it's just like after they've already taught you the basics, they're just trying to hammer this fucking indoctrination in you. It's like this is how the world is. This is how the world works, and everything's all hunky dory. Hunky dory. I don't know what the fuck I said that for. Everything's all hunky dory. We got it all figured out for you already. There you go. think it's kind of dangerous to have somebody hand you your like worldview and your like core beliefs. You know, just here it is. Don't question it. You start to pull on that thread, you might realize it's all bullshit. The fuck? That's some fucking wackadoodle nonsense. Too many tyrants telling tall tales. Now they're taking their time with the truth, twiddling their thumbs like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And we just couldn't keep quiet about it anymore. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. They think they got some fancy technology that can change reality. I'm on to them. There used to be a silent inn in Dilemma. Now it's so silent it's not even there anymore. I had 3 people for a second. I should have started telling my riddle. You guys want to hear my... You guys are probably sick of hearing it. Hey, damn riddle. Yeah, exactly. It's your God-given senses, you know. If you're gonna like, people like will be all like, "Oh, stupid flat earther, your senses can be tricked," you know. They're like, we can prove that Earth is moving with this little fucking gyro compass, you know. It's like, see, like it spins and it processes, and it's like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man. Fuck off. Nice try. Some dude comes in with his little toy. It's all spinning. Like, look, this proves the whole world is spinning, but we don't really feel it or notice it. Get out of here with that shit. How dumb. Like, if people can be fucking that easily fooled, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry, dude. Well, explain how it's working. No, I don't feel like it. Oh, man. That's pretty dumb. And people believe that shit. It's just like a IQ test or something. You know what I mean? There's probably people that would watch this and be like, "Oh, he's so dumb. He doesn't even understand that it actually works." No, it doesn't, dude. If you could, there's so many holes in that reasoning. I don't even think I need to explain it. But like, give me a break. It's just a spinny little toy. It's so dumb, dude. That's not proof of anything, dude. It's proof of something, but it's not proof that the whole world is spinning. That's ridiculous, dude. I mean, you can pretend that it is if you want. Maybe it fits into your story all neat, but like, it ain't proof of shit, really. That's how I debunk things. It's like it's a stupid toy. We live here. I can prove it on this ball. No, that's just a little toy. You don't live on a toy. And here's the thing: if somebody told you that you won the concentric circle lottery, oh man, I'm getting tired of hearing myself tell this, but I've got it perfected, I think. So if you were able to go to the North Pole, it's just help. It's useful to say you're at the North Pole when you start this, but you could be anywhere really. But I had this little story that all went along with it, but I'll just cut to the chase and just be like, all right, if you were to draw a circle on the ground and say that's my property, and it just magically was, and you could get more property by drawing bigger circles around it. You know, basically you could just keep moving away from the first circle, drawing another circle, and getting more property. So you would just take a step away, draw another circle, and you have that property. But you only own what's in the circle. So, I mean, I think I explained that pretty clearly, right? Make a circle, that's your property. Step outside a circle, draw another circle, that's your property too. So it's like but you only own what's in the circle. So you can just keep stepping out and drawing another circle. You own that now. You know what I mean? You just keep stepping out, draw another circle. You own that. After a while, the circles get pretty big, right? Do you think eventually you're going to own the whole world? Yes or no? Yes or no? It's all about how you answer this question. That's how I know what your mind is, how your mind is functioning. Most people say yes. I do believe most people say yes because most people think like flat earthers. They just don't realize it. Because the answer is yes, but not if you live on a globe. If you live on a globe, the most you'll ever own in this instance where I just described, you only own this in the circle. The most you'll ever own on a globe is half of it. With that riddle in mind, because the biggest circle you make is halfway down. After that, the circles get smaller. So the most you'll ever own is half of it. So if you're thinking like you live on a globe, you're gonna say no. You won't ever own the whole world if you do this. The most you'll ever own is half. That's what the correct answer is if you live on a globe. But the obvious answer is yes, you will eventually own all the space that's available because you're just expanding. How's it gonna start to shrink? Give me a fucking break. That's retarded. But if you think you live on a globe and you're full on thinking like you do, and your mind is functioning in that reality, you're gonna say no. The most you'll own is half. You'll be quick to answer no. That's not. You'll never own the whole world if you're doing this because you'll get to the halfway point and you'll be like, yay, and then you step south and circle around, and it's a smaller circle. And the more further south you go from there, it's smaller and smaller and smaller. And if you only own what's in the circle, then you're basically losing property the further south you go from there. But most people won't think about it like that. Most people are just going to be like, yeah, you keep expanding. Of course, you're going to own all the space available. That's obvious, right? Yeah, of course. You won't ever lose the space that you've had in the. That doesn't make any sense. So it's just like, yeah, you'll just keep expanding till you run out of room. Duh. But if you really wholeheartedly and your mind is entirely in the globe reality, you'll know right away that the answer is no. You won't own the whole world. You'll only own half of it because the circles get smaller past the median. So I don't think most people think. I don't think most people are even in that reality, though. I don't think most people are going to be that quick to be like no, because the correct answer is no if you live on a globe. But in reality, the correct answer is yes. But you have to be thinking like a flat earther to know that. And I think most people are thinking like a flat earther. They just don't realize it. So that's the whole point of my genius thing that I've designed. I think it's a good way to like conceptualize the whole fucking joke of a reality we're supposed to believe, and to just test people to see where their heads at and see how you really think. Because you might think flat earthers stupid, but if you said yes when you first heard that riddle, you thought the answer was yes, then you don't think it's that stupid. In fact, you think just like we do. So there, take that, pack that in your pipe. And I think I can get people with that one. What do you think? I forever love you forever. You think I can get people with that one? I'm trying. I'm doing all I can here. It's like I want to contribute something to this. I think it's a cool thing. I don't want to just be some, spectator. I'm participating in this. I want to contribute something. And this is what, I'm a psychologist, a reverse psychologist. I come at it from behind. I'm trying to like get in there at a different angle. So I'm breaking down the psychology of it all, like how your mind is operating. Like if you fully, wholeheartedly, 100% believe you live on a globe, then you'll immediately know the answer to my riddle, being the answer being no. You won't ever own the whole world because if you're just making circles one around the other, eventually you'll get to the median, and then your circles start to get smaller. You only own what's in the circle. So it's like the most you'll ever own in that instance is if you live on a globe is half of the globe. But if someone tells you like, oh, this circle is your property, and all you have to do is step out of the circle and draw another circle, that's your property too. You can keep doing that indefinitely. Do you think you're going to own the whole world eventually? Well, yeah, duh. Okay, well then you're thinking like a flat earther, and you will. I do believe the Earth is flat. Like I'm wholeheartedly in that arena, and that's the correct answer. I do believe is yes, you will eventually own all the space that's available. But if you think you live on a globe, and if you really did live on a globe, the most you would ever own in that instance where you're expanding out like that, the most you would ever own is half of it because the circles get smaller past the equator. So you would just be losing property at that point because you have to step away from the circles you were making, make another one, step away, eventually get past the equator, and the circle somehow gets smaller, even though it doesn't make any fucking sense, but that's what we're supposed to think. So, like, yeah, you would just be losing property at that point. So, if you're smart, you would stay at the equator and own half the world. So, it's all about how you answer this riddle. It's like if you say yes, then you think like a flat earther. And I think most people would say yes. So that's why I feel like I sort of like achieved something here. Like now I just have to get it in front of people because nobody listens to me. Maybe I should go out like call in one of these shows. I don't even think that people don't even have time to answer a riddle. They're just so caught up in their shit. I'm not worried about how flat earthers think. I already know they think correctly. But I do want approval from. I want people to be like, "Oh, that's clever. That makes sense." Or does it not make sense? I mean, am I not making sense? I feel like I make sense. So I'm trying to like take what they say as reality and just apply it to like reality. So if we started making circles one outside the other, we wouldn't eventually own the whole world. We'd get halfway across the world, and then our circles would start to get smaller. We only own what's in the circle. There was no rule that said after you own it indefinitely. It was just you only own what's in the circle. So the circles supposedly start to get smaller past that. So you lose. You take one step past the equator, make another circle, you lose all that other property you had before that because now your circle's going around a whole different area, and now it's going to start getting smaller. Does that make sense? Because that's what we're supposed to believe. Oh God, so dumb. It's so impossible. It's not. I mean, I guess it's not impossible. Anything's possible. That's what this whole thing has proved. You can convince people of anything. Oh man. But I think that's what we're supposed to believe. Yeah, after you go, there's no way to live. Like if we were ants on a basketball and all this bullshit, but like ants would know when they're getting to the bottom. That's my rebuttal to that one. Ants would be aware that they're holding on tighter. Because I've tried to come at this whole like concept where it's like, do you think like you live on a sphere? Like, because if you do, then you'll know that it's possible to draw a smaller circle around the outside of another one. I'll just try to start with that. Let's be like, people, if you draw a circle on the ground, can you draw a smaller circle around the outside of it? Nope. Okay, well, scale that out. Would you ever be able to? No. Okay, well, then you don't think you live on a globe, then. Welcome to Flat Earth. It's that easy to debunk the globe in people's minds, They don't really think they live on a globe. If they really thought that, they would know that the circles get smaller past the equator. They're just imaginary lines or straight lines. They're not straight lines. No, 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 no. East and west are circles on the globe model, too. They get smaller and big, in the middle, they're the biggest. That's what the globe says. And the longitude lines are all the long ones, they're all the same length. It's not like there's an east and west pole where there's all circles, all like, that's not how it's set up. It'd be interesting if it was set up like that, where there's circles that come in from the east and west, and then circles that come in from the north and south. But it's not. The longitude lines are just all. Each one goes from pole to pole, pole to fake pole. So they're supposed to be curved in that way, in the sense that they're like curving around the curve of the Earth. But in reality, they're just straight lines because you're walking away from the north. The needle on the compass is a model of Earth. Like it's flat, and it's showing directionality where it's like The needle could be pointing south. It's it's just a needle. You just put the arrow on the other end. It's pointing south. It's just it's pointing north and south. So it's like it's just a straight line. The needle's a straight line. The compass is round. You know, because you correct to the north, so you're making a circle around the north, or the south. It's not like the south is just like a straight line. I guess that's what I mean. So the south is a straight line, so it's like you couldn't put the needle facing south because see the fact that we have it set up like that is just indicating the Earth is flat. It's so fucked up. It doesn't have an arrow pointing south because there's no south pole. I mean, the truth is right in our face. Because the South Pole is just the whole fucking, That's what I say when people say there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. I'm like, really? I think there is, because Antarctica is a big, huge ring. It's the biggest ring, it's the biggest circle the sun makes, I think. So it's like, yeah, there's 24 hours of sun in Antarctica, but Antarctica is a big ring. You won't be able to be in the whole, when you're standing in Antarctica, you're just standing in one part of a huge ring. Yeah, there's 24 hours of sun in Antarctica, but Antarctica is a huge fucking circle. So, so there. So it's kind of true. You can't be in all of our Antarctica. I mean, it's like you'd have to be in a huge, to see the 24-hour sun, you'd have to have cameras set up all the way around in a huge circle. So there is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, but Antarctica is a fucking huge circle. It's the biggest circle the sun makes. Right? Am I wrong? So there is a 24-hour sun, but just not in one place in Antarctica, in the whole ring of it. The sun isn't doing anything different, basically. It's going in a circle. Further out you go, the bigger the circle. It's not that hard to figure out. It's reality. I mean, it's like expanse. Think about an expanse. Like you have a perimeter around this. It's an outward expanding perimeter. How's that perimeter ever going to start to shrink? It won't. It's impossible. It's stupid to think it would. It can't. You can't fit all that space into a smaller circle. Well, you're just circling what you don't own. No, you only own what's in the circle. Your brain starts to fucking cave in on itself. You don't live on a globe. It's retarded. Am I making sense? No, because the globe doesn't make sense. We've been taught to deny our own experience as if our God-given eyes and ears are deceiving us, and the fundamental observations that we make as children are simply hand-wave dismissed, so they don't exist, and ultimately just become lost thoughts in the mix and in the memory hole. That's where they go. That's where they go. And the place in your mind where those thoughts used to sit quickly refilled with a bunch of irrelevant bullshit and a fairy tale that covers the course of billions of years, where we somehow up your mind and use it. Face the music, face the music. Open up your mind and use it. Face the music, face the music. We all could really use it. Open up your mind before you lose it. And face the music. Face the music. We could really use it. Like the birds singing along with me. All of my colors were fading away. All of my colors were fading away. All of my colors were fading to gray. All up until this year love came along. Out of nowhere. Now my colors come rushing back in. I feel alive again. Standing here in this love. Walk right through this year, love. Surround yourself with this love that I found. You can't see it, but it's there all around. Pardon me. Na, 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 na. Walk right through this year, love. This love came from God above. I brought it down here just to share with you. I felt that was the least I could do. Take some with you when you go. All right, I gotta go. Thank you for watching. Cheers.